and got to the house, and she was kind of pacing up and down the kitchen, thinking something wrong with the kids, something wrong with the dog, or whatever. And then she said, I've got leukemia. I've got leukemia. And it was just, it was bizarre. Just, for both of us, just bizarre. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. I felt helpless and terrified, and didn't know how to be with her. I just didn't know what to do. I had no idea what it meant, no idea at all. I didn't really know what leukemia was. and at the point of diagnosis, Jules didn't know what leukemia was, and had been told by a GP who didn't know how to handle it either. You've got CLL, and so, well, what is it? What does it mean for me? What are my chances? How long am I going to live? Am I going to die soon? And he said, well, I don't actually know what it is either. Go away and look it up in the net. And Jules, being Jules, as an academic and a researcher, immediately started to do that. So she very quickly started to learn what it meant, what CLL was, and what it meant, and what that journey was going to be. But I didn't. I didn't know. I didn't know a damn thing. I didn't know anything at all about it. So from that point of view, I suppose I learned from her. Find out as much as you can, as quickly as you can. Get as much information as you can. If you're lucky, you may find. I mean, we found our consultant incredibly useful and reassuring, but at the same time, that wouldn't have been enough. You see a consultant once every, whatever it is, every month, every 4 weeks, every 3 months. That's not really enough. And again, because of Jules's research background, we got a lot of very good information very quickly, and I think for us that's been the key to it, is getting to the point where we were beginning to understand what this thing was and what it would mean reasonably quickly. And that didn't necessarily bring reassurance, but at least it brought knowledge and understanding. And that, for us, that was what was important. We were then able to begin to place it in some kind of context, just in terms of what was happening in Jules's body. That's what I would say, is just learn as much as you can, as quickly as you possibly can, and where they exist, try and find networks, for information and advice, and just as much as possible at what's going on in the wider world of CLL. And I think Jules quite quickly found online networks, and for her that was really important, because she was able really quickly to find out really what was happening very contemporarily, not just in Britain, but across the world. Yeah, and I think from that point of view, we had each other, and that was very important. And I think especially for Jules, it was that contact with that wider CLL community. I mean, we live in Cornwall, which is very good in some ways, but it's not the most cosmopolitan place on the planet, and you can feel quite isolated. And I would imagine, whatever, certainly before the age of the internet, that this would have been a much more terrifying journey, because there wasn't that accessibility. And that certainly was what I think worked for us, and certainly for Jules, was quite quickly developing those relationships, across the country, across the world.